Unfortunately, it's EA's Skate 2, which is one we've been looking forward to. Thanks to its authentic approach and innovative analog stick control, last year's original proved there's more to skateboarding games than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series, which has started to whiff a bit. As in the original, the scene for this one is set with an entertaining live-action sequence featuring a hit cast of skating's finest. It's a good indication of which stars you'll be rolling with later in the game, and this year's pro roster is like a who's who of the skateboarding world, without Mr. Hawk, obviously.
Don't worry, everything's alright. Finger slipped.
You resume your role as the same unknown skater who rose up through the ranks in the first game. Somehow you wound up in the slammer.
You knew I'd be here.
But now you're getting out, there's a familiar face, or rather, voice at the gate to welcome you back into society. San Verlona's the same city you skated in the original, but things have changed a lot while you were inside. A huge corporation moved in and rebuilt the downtown area, making the good skate spots unusable and bringing in teams of yellow-shirted rent-a-cops to further spoil everyone's fun. Yep, times are pretty hard for the skaters of San Van, but there's still plenty of action to be had, which is good, because you've got to set about rebuilding your rep. Like before, you can raise your profile by following skate magazine photographers around town and taking on their challenges. Pass enough of these and your shots will feature in the magazine articles. You can then examine them via the links in Slappy's blog, which charts your progress all the way. Snagging a good sponsorship deal is another priority. To do this, you'll need to impress the pros by beating their challenges.
That was so sick. Looks like the time you spent in the can didn't take too much off your game.
Yo, Danny, seriously? You gotta check out Pony's footy. It's off the hook.
Entering competitions is another good way to make a name for yourself and earn some cash prizes. Comps come in two varieties, street and tranny. Before you take that mental image too far, tranny means transition, so that's half-pipe ramp style contests, not skating in a skirt and stilettos, which is a shame.
I'll drop a bomb just for you to smell it.
A more underground way to bring home the bacon is to bet on yourself in a downhill death race where you race 3 other death wishers down a seriously steep street course, dodging traffic all the way to the finish line. San Van has some new areas to explore, and you'll find plenty of secret spots tucked away if you look hard enough. When you stumble upon a good place to skate by setting a suitably big trick score, you can own the spot.
Yo, you owned it. Now you just gotta come kill it.
No worries. You can also now go on to kill the spot by achieving a much more impressive score there.
Oh, you killed it.
Darn tootin'. The use of the right analog stick to control the tricks, as seen in the first game, makes a welcome return here. Basically, holding it down, then flicking it straight up does a standard ollie. Variations on this simple motion, along with grabbing the board with the shoulder buttons, will do different tricks, and there are hundreds to learn. One problem is the difference between these stick motions can be quite subtle, so it's not always easy to pull off a particular stunt on command. There are loads of new moves to nail this time too. You've now got a repertoire of one-foot tricks like no complies. And foot plants, hand plants, old school hippie jumps, and you can now sketch a ride on passing vehicles. When you've done something really impressive, you can immediately call up the replay editor to get the footage just right. This time there are loads more options, like being able to place cameras exactly where you want them. When when stunts go badly wrong, and they often will, you can now trigger a bail move. These offer various ways to turn a disaster into a point-scoring opportunity once your calamity gets rated in the Hall of Meat. There's a much simpler and less painful action that really does make a difference to gameplay this time. Before, your feet were apparently nailed to the board. Now you can step off at the touch of a button and move around on foot, making it easier to get into a good position to start your run. Moving up steps used to present a real problem. Not anymore. The freedom to scamper about also makes caveman tricks possible, where you run along and then jump onto your board, down a big drop or into a board slide. Better still, while on foot you can grab any loose objects scattered around the skate spots and move them to create new terrain possibilities. Finding it hard to get over a gap? Drag a kick around into position and you'll clear it with ease.
Go!
Party play and comprehensive online modes allow you to ride and compete with your friends. There are new free skate activities which make for a more structured session, and you've got cooperative challenges too if it all gets a bit competitive. Also, the skate spots that you've edited can be uploaded and shared with the skate community. This series works because it actually feels like a simulation of skateboarding and skate culture, rather than an arcade-style mock-up with ridiculously long combos. While this one isn't as revolutionary as its predecessor, the minor problems have been dealt with, and there's enough new stuff to make Skate 2 a proper sequel, cementing its status as the benchmark for skateboarding games. Yes, you heard us, Tony Hawk. We're giving this bad boy 9 out of 10.